Hello, hello. It's the 1st of September. Best fucking mood I've had. Thank God August is over and done with. Hopefully
Excuse me, my birthday was in August.
I was probably the only good thing about August
Okay, that continue.
then. Welcome folks to Community Curations with your host, the Gothic Storyteller, and with us is Layizzzle.
Hello.
Welcome in and everything. I've been looking forward to doing this.
Me too.
Last month we had Krypton on for like one of our little special streams that we planned to post, and oh my god, I'm like drawing a blank of who I had. I think it was Nova. Yes, it's Nova, because Nova's episode drops tomorrow on YouTube and everything. I'm so sorry if I forgot Nova. Don't hate me. Well, you can hate me all you want. I don't care. But anyway, oh my god, it's been a wonderful day. It's been like a really good, happy feeling kind of day, and I got to sit there and spend right before recording. I got to spend what was like 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
just watching everything everywhere all at once. I've been
Let's see
trying
how many times we fuck this name up.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Before we get into our film topics, though, and everything, we got to sit there and know a little bit about the wonderful Layla. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello. Hi there. My name is Layla or Layizzzle. Um, I'm just I'm just a human being on the internet. I sit in front of a camera on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday and act like a damn fool. I really love human connection, so I think that's what brought me to streaming. Outside of that, by day, I am a boring ass software consultant. I also am a lovely mother to the wonderful Kratos, which I'm surprised. Oh, he's napping right now, so you guys can't. There he is. Say hi, Kratos.
There's the
How you
wonderful
doing,
ball
Bob?
of fur.
There he is. And yeah, that's what else? I don't know.
Well, how
I'm
long?
really bad at introductions.
It's fine. It's fine and everything. Not everyone can be like Quentin Tarantino, where they can just go off for hours and hours on end and
Well,
everything.
yeah, I also don't have that many accolades, so
We're getting there. We are getting there. How long have you been streaming?
I have been streaming since November of 2021, so almost 3 years now, actually.
Really?
It's been a
So
long journey.
I believe you started probably then about a year after me and everything. Cause
Really?
yeah, I started right after I graduated film school. It was about 6 months in, and I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to start my streaming stuff like on. Yep, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. He was gonna start asking for treats. He knows Mama's live.
You know what? He's really the star of the show, okay? He's really the star of the show. I just pay the bills. I'm the sugar mama.
Yeah, where's the fur baby? I was thinking about adding that for today and everything. Was adding the fur baby treat. Um, but yeah, I started on my birthday, June 30th, of 2019. So yeah, like we're working up on. We've already passed year 4 now, I believe. Year 4, year 5. I
Wow.
don't know. It's weird. Time is weird. It feels like I've done this a lot longer, but
And but then like every time, I don't know if you feel the same way, but every time, like recently, every time I get on, I'm still nervous. Like
yeah.
right before I hit the go live button, I'm still nervous.
Well, I mean, it was like when you were telling me that you were nervous, and it's like, don't
Yeah.
worry. Anytime I interview or do any type of big giant special event, I wake up nervous. It's like, oh God, is this show going to be good? Is she going to be high energy? Is she going to be low
Of
energy?
always, you
Am,
know, I'm always bringing the energy, okay, wherever I go.
am I going to be high energy? Am I going to be low energy? It's like, do I really give a shit about this job?
Should I just quit and call it off today?
Exactly. Can I reschedule this for next Sunday? Oh, fuck, God, no. I have that other event with that other asshole next week. And it's like, and to me, that is like the peak content creator thing of, I gotta get up, I gotta sit there, and I gotta make the content. Because if I don't, I'm gonna be fucking broke.
Right.
And everything. And your boy's mostly broke. So help a guy out. But
Starving artists.
right? Well, see, I don't really like that term anymore. I used to live by that, starving artists. And then, like, the more I started looking at starving artists, is the people that do that are the people that refuse to learn. They refuse to shift any, they refuse to budge anywhere where they're at to,
Mm.
like, kind of grow or to allow it. So when I hear starving artists, And it's like, there's times I've even felt like it. And I was like, oh, God, you're not learning. You're not budging. You keep thinking that if you go this way straight ahead, that's going to be your success. But no, it's just going to be your downfall. And then I'm all like, let me take a fucking day. And then I'll give. Sometimes it takes a week.
Back to it.
Sometimes it takes a month.
You know what? As long as you get back up.
Exactly. And everything. So I may be starving and I may be an artist, but I'm not a starving artist.
I know. Starving artist, okay?
and
I love that though. That's a great perspective. I never really thought of it that way.
I learned about it this year because I saw someone do a post about that, and I was like, wow. It's like, I used to be so proud of having that title, and the moment I really started looking at it, I was like, I'm a fucking loser. So it's like,
Aww,
not to talk down to myself here. I'm not, but it was looking at that as I was not growing because I kept thinking I almost knew it all. You know, not just in the facet of Twitch, but in the facet of content creating, the facet of writing. I've like now just kind of admitted that no matter how much I've studied story, I will never fully understand story structure of anything, because no matter how many times you try to point it out, label it, do whatever, it's like when you write it, you can't formulaic. Otherwise, you get garbage. Like, I'm sorry, and I'm not really gonna apologize for this. I'm like Jim Lee Curtis, but like, you get the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, it was all going great after Endgame, and then they had a few good stars, and then the rest of it was just fucking terrible. You know, now that's not that's
a Krypton conversation. He'll go bat to bat for you about that.
True, but at the same time too, I look at it as, this isn't just me just talking shit. It's just, I just really look at the oversaturation and the, obviously before all this there was a plan. This, we can tell it's not a plan and everything, but there is a, I can't shit on Kevin Feige or really any of the producers that do this, because they're just doing their job. It's when the studio heads start demanding all this, and then you can only do so much. You're only human, human, folks. So it's not necessarily really a crack shot at Kevin Feige or the movies. It's the crack shot at the people that are like, we need something new every month, every year, every week. We need more content. But going back on track.
Capitalism.
That's pretty much it. It's capitalism. That's what it is. Going back on track, because hopefully we're going to try not to fall off track so much and everything.
Good luck.
How do you maintain such a wonderful community?
That's a great question. Honestly, I'd like to say I have no fucking clue. Because it still amazes me to this day that I have so many incredible, wonderful, and amazing people who continually show up for me throughout pretty much anything and everything, whether it be breaks or, show up and, support me and other people's, like this today. Rye was in here hanging out, supporting both of us. Like, that's incredible. I really think that it's really a testament to the time and energy that I give to Twitch. Outside of just like streaming, I realize personally that it goes so far outside. It goes so far outside of streaming. It's not just, pushing the go live button and having fun and playing games for a few hours. It's a lot of like brainstorming ideas, trying to figure out great ways to keep people engaged. Also, one of my biggest strengths is my ability to just form connections with people. And so I always, especially if people who come to me asking for any sort of advice, once again, I'm just an idiot on the internet, but if you ask me what it would take to be, to create or curate a great community, I think it's just like showing up for people, and then in turns they show up for you. So I spend a lot more than I'd like to admit hours. Y'all see it. I know. I'm in everybody's stream. Even if I'm not talking, I'm always there. I make sure to reach out to people when if I hear something like that they're going through something, and really just trying to show up. Yeah. Just continuing to show up. And I think that's a good portion of it. But also I think that it's really important for me to be open and honest. And so I do talk a lot about, things that I'm going through, how I'm feeling, even when it's not so pretty. And I think that that allows people to really like relate and connect with me.
Yeah, I can definitely feel you in that boat. The amount of hours I have spent on Twitch, and then we're not talking. There's times where I just open it up and it's immediately 3 streams at a time. Open it, mute tab, go to work and everything. Jump in between for breaks. Hey, how's everyone doing? Oh, we're good. We're good. Okay, conversation. And then it's like, all right, I gotta go back to work. And then really, it's just me hopping to another stream. Hello, how are you? Because I can't maintain
Yeah.
multiple conversations at the same time. That's just impossible. So I'll go and I'll have like my mini break. I'll say my hellos, my good mornings. Everyone knows my routine almost. They're like, he's gonna be here, here, here. If he's not there, he's gonna be here, here, and here.
Yeah.
So I've essentially kind of branded myself as the slut on Twitch because it's like people are like, oh my god,
Same. Can
like,
can we start a club?
it's like
Twitch
it's like
sluts?
it's like, yo, Gothic, you're in here too. It's like I'm everywhere. I'm like a slut on Twitch. It's like, yeah, I for one, I just love the connection with people. I love. It's why I also too I did this podcast is that I get to know, not just leaders of other communities, but I get to know my own community as well through like movies and everything. Because to me, that's how I've learned to communicate with a lot of people. Me with you too. Thank you, Knox. It's how I learned to like understand people's emotions and like what they're into, who they are. It's all by their movies and everything. I mean, my mom showed that. That's how we did our communication. Like there was no like, Gothic crying on the bed, pouring out his emotions. No, we just watched The Changeling, or we'll watch The Exorcist, or we'll watch Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. We'll watch whatever. Yeah. And to us, that's like our communication without saying any words. Or she'll be like, "Oh yeah, that actor was in there, and that, and that," and then she wonders where I got it from.
Because my mom's it's all like how you guys connect.
Yeah, and my mom is like, "You ever shut up?" And then whenever I pointed out later when I was going through film school, my mom's like, if I would have sat there and known that this is what I was creating, it was like a filmmaker, but also too just a person that just has so many, like so much trivia. And when a lot of people are like, how do you know so much about classic film and like just these old films that no one really knows too much? I was like, my mom.
Aw,
It's
love
my
that.
mom. And then I do the dive even deeper, and she's like, oh, I didn't even fucking know that, and everything. And it's like, yeah, well, you started it, you made this monster, now fucking live with it.
Here it is. This is all of making. This is all of your making, Mom.
Pretty much and everything. Before we dive into our films, is there any Kratos lore? I know we got to see, the little monster today and everything.
Well, let's see. Kratos was named obviously off after the God of War, one of the greatest TV video game characters, okay, that has ever existed in my opinion. I do have to say though, I'm kind of like a fake fan because I have not played all the games. I've only played the first one and half of the second one, but the reason why I came up with Kratos was if you look at him and look at his face, he's got a really interesting pattern, and he has like 2 black marks on his eyes, but then he has like a white part that goes right down the side. And I was like, hey, that kind of looks like Kratos' scar across his face. And I'm like really into naming my animals very strong names.
Yeah.
And so it just fits. But as far as like Kratos the cat goes, he's my ride or die. I don't know if you know, but he has lived in multiple states and multiple like 2 continents. Okay, he's like almost Mr. Worldwide. And really, he's just like the best. He's just like the best partner in crime. Like a cat dog through and through. Like he doesn't care about anything outside of just being as close to me as possible and annoying the fuck out of me when I'm trying to stream.
I know, and I add to that because every time I pop in there, I was like, I have enough. Redeem Kratos. I was like, feed the baby. And he just stands there all stoically like, mother, the chime has been rung. It's time to feed. It's... And
Yeah.
it's funny, you name him Kratos, and the way how he stands in attention, waiting, it's very stoic of him. Usually there's some cats, they put on that charm. No, he just stands stoically, like,
Yeah, and I don't know if you also notice too, like he does this really, really like interesting thing in which he really tests the waters. He'll like slowly put his paw on me, or he'll like even when we're like laying in bed or something, he'll slowly crawl up to me like I don't know what he's doing. Like he's like the sleuthiest sleuth of all the sleuths when in all reality he's like 20 pounds of fluff and like I can't like you can't miss the guy, okay? Like so yeah, he's just something else. He's my best friend. I just love him. He saved my life.
We love that. Like, as for a cat owner, I definitely also understand, like, if you have like a specific thing that you love, like a passion, like strong names or whatever. I always tend to name my animals that. Like
Yeah.
my cat that is still living with my mother because my sister just could not bring another one in here. For one, as feral as she freaking is, she'll fuck up all these cats. And
Oh,
and every
nice.
so she's like one of those like head bitches
Just
in
don't fuck
charge.
with her.
And
Yep.
so like I named her Frida after the Mexican painter. And
Yeah, yeah, way to
I
go.
usually name a lot of my animals after artists of
Mm,
multiple kinds.
I love that actually.
Yeah, it was like Frida Greymane, and I took the Greymane part from Skyrim because that was like one of my favorite subplots in the whole game when you were dealing with like the werewolf clan and
Yeah.
everything. So it was like Greymane and had that right there. So it's like art, fucking feral werewolf, and that's
Yep.
practically what she is and everything.
I really, it's funny. There's, a study about how your name really does kind of like have like some sort of effect on your personality. And so I don't know. I wonder if it translates. I mean, we're all just animals, so
Right?
makes sense.
Um, and what was it? I had like one cat that I named Poe. There was one I did Wesker and everything. He was a butthole and
Yeah.
everything. But like I would like name a lot of the animals after like writers or so. And my mom's like, "Can't you just give it a normal name?" I was like, "Would you want me to name him Hemingway?" And so it's like if you guys understand Hemingway, you probably would understand the dark humor in naming a cat that and everything. But for those
Yeah,
that
so
know, you know.
yeah, I'm the same way though. I mean, my first cat, I wasn't able to have cats growing up. My grandmother and my uncle were extremely allergic, and we were just like a dog family. We had way too many dogs, like more than we were supposed to have in one household. But we had so many dogs. Um, but once I got to be an adult, I was like, okay, I'm just like totally hopping into like the cat train because I always wanted one, right? And so my first cat, her name was Siren. And then I had a Mysticles, and then now Kratos. Like Kratos is my third cat as an adult. And I don't know, I just really feel like it's silly. Like I really like people who name their like cats like Banana or like something silly like that, like or Wednesday or like those are so cute. But I always just try to find like Greek type names or just like really any kind of strong classic names, I guess.
I can sit there and say, especially Mysticles. I was like, oh, I was like, someone's fancy. I really enjoy that and everything. Um, so I guess now this is the time that because I was about to say if we keep going, we're gonna be talking about cats all freaking night.
I know, sorry.
I can easily do that because I grew up with like a lot of dogs, and then like the moment we stopped having them, and we started just taking in like the feral animals and everything,
Yeah.
the feral cats. It's like I think at most when I was there living with my mom, the most we had was like 13 cats. We would only have like one
Wow.
indoor cat, and then the others would just be the outside. So
Yeah.
the moment you woke up, you had like a bowl full of cat food, and they're just like chickens. They're like just drop it all in there, and we go in there, we feed them, and then they're like they just like huddle up. So it was. I grew up on a cat farm. That's probably it went from a dog
That's
farm.
awesome.
It
That's
went
like the dream for me.
it went from a dog farm with I think at one point we had a pig twice. Didn't end up well for the pigs. We had chickens. Didn't end up well for the chickens because the raccoons got them and everything.
Oh,
But we figured cats. Cats, they hunt whatever they need to. It was very rare that they were ever harmed and everything.
low
Uh,
maintenance.
Low maintenance because they took care of themselves and everything. Like,
Yeah.
yes, we fed them, but we didn't have to worry about scooping all of their litter box. It was just the one that was indoors. So
Yeah.
again, very self maintenance, less work. Um, And I don't know, I think for me, I'm like very much like a clingy kind of like person when it like comes to things, and I kind of like just learn with a cat that you can't always be clingy on the thing that you love. You know, not sitting here saying a woman's
They
gonna
do
scratch
test
me and
they do
bite me,
test that.
but yes, they do. They do test that, and so I feel like if you ever wonder if you can handle independence, get a cat,
Yeah.
because the moment you're all like, I love you so much, the cat's like, I hate you so much. If you can handle that for, I don't know, say a decade, I think you can handle being independent. Just period.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
agree.
but jumping into our first movie and everything, because we did some last minute switch changes, we're going to cover Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This isn't the first time that we've covered deep romance and philosophy. Thank you, Ghost Girl. You guys can go check out the Ghost Girl episode.
My favorite things, romance and philosophy, all in one with Jim Carrey.
So what made you pick this one as for one of your favorites?
When I a lot of the three movies that I chose, obviously like they are some of my favorites. Every Everything Everywhere All at Once
Mm-hmm.
being the newest one to my list. I that one came out much newer, but and I just saw it for the first time and it just blew my mind. But with this one, Eternal Sunshine in the Spotless Mind, like it just made me feel things. Like it made me really really reflect, and it really taught me a lot about like human, like just human behavior and just how we perceive, heartbreak and pain, and the lessons that it teaches us. And so many of us, when we're like going through it, like in the midst of a breakup or whatever it may be, like we just uh we really try to we really, I think we focus on the bad parts because that's like the pain.
Mm-hmm.
But in that movie, if you had seen it, as he's deciding, Jim Carrey or Joel, he decides to get his memory erased of Clementine, his ex-girlfriend at the time, because he realized that she had done the procedure already. And when he goes in, as he's going through the procedure, they're inside of his brain. He becomes some sort of aware, and I thought that was really cool too, is that he becomes aware of like what's actually happening, and really fighting with the whole destruction of his memory with Clementine. And to me, I'm such a lover, and I really do try to look at things as like lessons learned versus like we spoke about right before, like failures, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it was just like a really important theme throughout the movie that um you just like you got to take the good and the bad, and like the bad also is like what made the good so beautiful and like so sweet. There's just one line that he says, it's like, I just keep this one, when he was like referring to like one of like really special memory that he was having with her. And he was like, can I just like keep just this one, just get rid of all of them, but like let me keep that one. And that one just like, because I have those, like I want to forget, but we want to like kind of like pick and choose, right?
Mm-hmm.
The good things, but you can't have the good without the bad, right? So
Exactly.
I don't know, it was just a really really thought-provoking movie. And I'm sorry, I'm starting to to yammer.
Oh no,
But
this is all great. This is all great. Don't worry about it.
the one of my favorite things about the movie as well is that, if you guys know, Jim Carrey is known for just all of his really really funny, his comedy, his like comedic parts. But this was a really serious role for him. And in an interview that he did, he says that Joel, his character, this was the character that kind of he related to the most, and he didn't actually have to like really act. And I thought that was really interesting. And so that was kind of special to me. So I
This
just think it's
was
just really good, well done overall.
this is the era of Jim Carrey that you definitely started actually really seeing the man for what he was.
Yeah.
Because this is his second, I believe, serious role that he did. He did, or not serious, because I'm not sitting here trying to say that the other roles that he did not take serious. But it was the second drama role that he took, because before that he did Man on the Moon, which is a comedy or a dramedy, a drama
Yeah.
comedy and everything. And that one right there, he was playing one of his idols and everything, and seeing the documentary of just like how he was just kind of coming unglued a little bit, and he truly did believe that he was Andy Kaufman, I was
Yeah.
just like, holy shit. And then you see him do Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, because I think still a lot of people looked at that Andy Kaufman biopic that he did as like, well, he did a serious film, but it was still a comedy because it was the life of a comic and
Right.
everything. But when he did this, there was no comedy whatsoever. Like, this was full blown. So I could see that
Serious.
now, that this was him coming into his own, not just as an artist but as a human being.
Yeah.
And I love those interviews that he does, like especially when he talks about depression. He's like, depression is when your body's telling you it's not doing this shit anymore, it's not playing this character, this role that you have created, and it's like, I'm done with it. And it's like, I fucking feel that. I was like, Jim is on something. And I kind of really wish that we got more of this, because I think not too long after this, I think he did the number 23. That one wasn't all too well received. Um, then he did, I think, like a cop drama whenever he came back and everything. I think he did like a thriller, like a dark psychological thriller. And
Really?
I can't remember the name of it, but it was like right when it seemed like he came out of his hiatus shell, and like he had like his whole head shaved and everything. And then he did, I think it was also right around when he did the Dumb and Dumber sequel. And then of course he started doing the Sonic the Hedgehog films, and then it's like he's retiring, and it's like, what? It's like, but who's gonna play Eggman? And he's like, I'll come back if it's worth the script. And so obviously it's like, oh, okay. It's like, I think he has his foot in the door for retirement, but he'll come back if the script is good. But I love it when our comics can definitely sit there and hit something like this, because it's also very reminiscent of Robin Williams. Like, you know, we're so used to the hyper energy, you know, the Mork and Mindy, you know, kind of thing. Yeah. And then you see Good Will Hunting, or
good one.
Only Dreams May Come. I think that was another one. You start seeing these roles, and it's like, hey, you shed the comedy away from the fucking
you're not just a comic, you're like a full-blown actor. Like, you're taken seriously for your acting skills versus just your jokes, right?
You're taking that off, and you're just showing the pain, everything. It's everything in all of its glory and all of its agony. And
we also need to shout out Kate Winslet too, because she was also really good in that, and that was another reason why I really resonated with Clementine as a character. One of the, one of her famous quotes, it's like, I'm just a fucked up girl who's just trying to find a peace of mind. And I really resonated with that, because she talks about, I can't quote it. I'm terrible at movie quotes, okay? Only one I know is "This is a fucking prison on planet bullshit." Okay, that's about the only movie quote I can pull out of my ass. But
which
anyway.
is that? Which movie is that?
What is Step Brothers? Step Brothers. Am I wrong? Don't tell me I'm about to embarrass myself. Tell someone. Tell me that's.
I believe it is Step Brothers and everything, but when I think Step Brothers in quoting, it's like, it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer, and then like
or like repeating the dinosaur one, like, oh, last time I got laughed that hard, I fell off my dinosaur, but. We're digressing. So Clementine is an incredible character. I really think she's just like trying to figure it out. She's constantly looked at as just like, and I feel like sometimes I relate to this as well. I feel like people tend to really what am I trying to say? I think that people sometimes look at me as like or try to get to know me as a concept, or like me as more of a concept than an actual like human being. Just because of like the way I present and the way I'm perceived as just being this like, hello,
testing the waters, I see.
Yes, of course. Let me just give him one of these before he falls off again and causes a whole ruckus. So you made me lose my train of thought. Anyway, so I really enjoy her character, because she just feels as though she feels fucking crazy, and I don't think she's not. I just feel like she's not really seen or like understood. And two, she is just trying to find like the things that make her like the things that make like light her up too, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to Kate Winslet and that badass hair, because every like they did such a great job of like switching up her hair color so you knew exactly what part of the story that you were in,
Mm-hmm.
because it does like time jump so much back and forth throughout the memories. And so that was just like such a beautiful way to like allow people to like know exactly where they, where you're at in the story. So
I
shout out to my girl Kate. Okay, they had great chemistry.
I may be reaching for this, but do you sit there think that Kate Winslet's character Clementine is a much more real and much more mature version of Scott Pilgrim's girlfriend in the Scott Pilgrim thing? Because she changes her hair a lot, and you could definitely tell. It seems every time she leaves an ex, she changes hair color and everything. But also too, it's like it's a different phase in her life because
Yeah.
she never
And
goes back. She always goes forward and everything. So
right.
do you think, because I definitely know when Scott Pilgrim came out, almost everyone in my late high school ish kind of, because Scott Pilgrim I think was '09. So really no, it wasn't all too damn late. I was probably about maybe leaving freshman year going into sophomore year. Do you sit there and like think like maybe not too many people grabbed a hold of Clementine, but they did grab a hold of I'm forgetting her name. I have the actress's name in my face, but
What is it? What is it? I know that's one of Rye's favorite movies. I can't remember her name
yeah,
either.
I yeah, it's like I have the actress in my head, but not the
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've only seen that movie like twice, maybe,
yeah.
like years ago. So
Well,
it needs to be back
well,
on my
like
list.
there's some people that believe that like, oh well, like she's like a whole toxic trait. Ramona
Ramona
Flowers.
Flowers,
There you go.
duh.
That like she's just like the toxic kind of like e-girl or something like that. And
You know,
there's different ways of I think looking at that character, because like some people really kind of like wonder like was she really all that great, because like in the comics she doesn't get with Scott. Like Scott goes back to knives, and yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead's the actress for it, and she does a really great job. But I feel like it's kind of like a teen drama where I guess as we look at Clementine and Kate Winslet with um, Eternal Sunshine, that's the much more mature, aspect I guess of handling a relationship, post and during a relationship.
and I think that a lot. Okay, so there's a lot of like stereotypes, right, with like
Mm-hmm.
crazy girls, and I think that one of them is that they just dye their hair a little really very vivid colors, and
As you hide your colors, like
we said it's a stereotype, okay, we're not generalizing, okay, but I think that that is like part of it, like that lends to it too, right, just to
yeah,
kind of like get like play into her like mental instability, but also it's a really great way to like keep your like your place of where you're at in the time in the story,
yeah.
right? So
I completely agree in everything. Dyes the hair. Wait a minute. Enhance. Cast. Lay. Oh my god. You know what though? We're vibing with this because purple's my favorite color. So like if Layla kept this, I would not be. I would not be shocked in anything. Like I love her hairstyle. I love it so
no,
much, and
thanks
everything.
you.
Um, but there's one thing I do want to ask. I'm drawing a blank on the screenwriter for Eternal Sunshine of Spotless Mind. I know it's something Kaufman. He's like a winner of many awards. He's a great freaking writer. He did adaptation, and I don't know if you've seen any more of his works and everything like adaptation. I I'm trying to
I don't
remember.
think I have.
I think he worked with the Coen brothers at one point, but there's something about that man's writing, like with Eternal Sunshine, of he definitely knows how to just hit humanity at what it is, like just how real that we are. There's very few filmmakers, I believe, in the medium that can really sit there and do what Kaufman does. I want to say it's Andrew Kaufman, but it's not, because I think I keep thinking of the comic and everything that Carrie played.
Yeah.
But like I know his last name is Kaufman and everything, and like the dude's I think got like a few books out that is all about story and writing and everything, and he's like always very very wise in what he does. And adaptation to me, very much like how Eternal Sunshine kind of like speaks to you. Adaptation's definitely at where you just sit there and you just look at the paper, and you're just like, all right, well, I got to get this done. I got to get this written. Oh, but I'm hungry. Maybe if I write a page, I'll reward myself with a muffin. Oh, then maybe some coffee. Oh,
Relatable.
well, now I'm not even thinking about the story. I'm just thinking about food right now. And it's
Yep.
like, yeah, that's
And
like,
now I'm sleepy, so I gotta take a nap.
yeah, and I feel that. Like, I apologize that I cannot remember the screenwriter's name, but hands off to him. He does amazing work, and I think he still works in the industry today, writing and everything. But we are going to move away from Kaufman's world of romance.
Check it out. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, y'all. Go check it out. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
It's kind of hard to catch because I think that's also another one that's on Apple, but I also believe that maybe it could be on Amazon Prime, but I do not know
Probably.
if that's like sub like if you have a subscription then you could just get it right there, or if you actually have
Yeah.
to pay out. I do
Pay
not
for
know.
it.
But we are going to move on to me, it's very much the meat, I think, of what this whole interview is going to be. Uh, Everything, everywhere, all at once. From directed by the Daniels, Daniel, I think it's Shiner and Daniel Kwan. I apologize if I butchered the first one and everything. An absurdist comedy horror. Take it away. Why is this your one of your favorites?
Okay, so for I guess my the same answer for the one, it just makes me feel things, right? That's a simple question. I think that's what art is supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just make you feel things. And this one was just there was just we were, we watched it in the Discord right before. I'm so happy that you were able to hop on and catch it because it's really hard to explain. It's really hard to really explain. But like once you watch, you're like, oh, like I get it. Well, sometimes sometimes it takes multiple times for people to get it. Not everyone's going to understand it,
Yeah.
but I just love the Ali said it in the Discord earlier. I love the juxtaposition of, the comedic moments to the really serious, like right in the middle of these serious moments, she's having flashbacks of like all of these other lives that, that she is simultaneously living, right? And one of them is like hot dog hands while they're like her and her daughter are having this really serious, like intense moment. You see the hot dog hands, and so it kind of like breaks you from that but also doesn't take you away completely, right? The whole concept of, I really resonate. Want to hear your feedback too. I'd really love to know what you think. But watching it back, I kind of like see who I relate to the most. And the first time I watched it, I really related to Waymond, okay? Because he's so lovely, he's so sweet, he's so kind, just a pure soul who just like loves, and that's like his whole, like that's his value, right? Like that's what he brings to the world. And um the second time around, I started really relating to Evelyn, just
Yeah.
because when you see the movie, you understand that like she's just at first she seems kind of like a bitch, but then you really see like, oh, like this is just a generational curse that she's perpetuating,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she begins to like start breaking these generational curses throughout the movie, not only for her, but for like everyone around her. And I think that's really powerful because I think that that's something that I really am trying in my life to do is just to break generational curses. And so it's really not easy work. It's completely tearing yourself down, like from the bottom, just getting rid of all the bullshit and just building it up from the top. So I really like that aspect of the movie. I could just go on and on about it. There's just so much. There's just like that scene with the rocks, okay? And that
Yeah,
was
like
really powerful.
it took me a moment because when you mentioned that in the Discord that, oh, this is my favorite moment, and you're just watching it and there's no like dialogue to listen to, it's just to watch. And I'm like, interesting, this is something brand new because you have this build up of this crescendo of what is happening, what's going on, and you know how you mentioned the use of comedy and in the use of the drama, like it, like the moment you laugh it sinks you right back in. It's like a boxing match, and it's like the moment that it's safe to just keep laughing, and then bam, it's like there's a gut punch and you're like, oh shit. And the writers and directors, they are just kicking your ass at this moment, and then you hit this
Yeah.
rock scene and it's almost like the
And
ref.
it's just quiet.
Yes, It's
It's
almost
just
like a
quiet.
deafening quiet, but you can hear like the wind, and you can hear maybe some pebbles and everything, just kind of like some sand slide down, and then you just have this conversation where I think it's probably the best aspect of just how teenagers feel today. I think really, in all honesty, it's just how teenagers feel. Period. Of I never sat there and thought that everything just feels so far away. And then you have, the mother here, Evelyn. It's like, what is this? And it's like it's essentially it's stripping that parent from their comfort and putting them in the shoes of their kid. And it's like, yeah, no, now you know how I feel. And I really enjoyed that. And when you're asking me, because again, this film has so many layers, my thoughts on this, if you go back and watch a Charlie Chaplin film, there is so much Charlie Chaplin in this. And the way on how he would um, disarm you with comedy, and then out of left field, he hits you with that good drama. And it's like, oh my God, and this is talking like a guy that did films from like the early 1900s all the way into I think the 1950s. I think he was still making stuff, and he was one of those filmmakers that even though um, audio had came in with the jazz singer in 1926, he was still making the silence. The tramp was not going to speak, even though the tramp did sometimes speak, but still, it's that one scene in which I watch with you where it's just the rocks talking. And I was like, this is a fucking silent film now at this point. You got a little bit of ambiance, so there is some sound, but you're reading the conversation. It may not be in a giant, very beautifully designed title card, but it's right there, and it's thrown right there, and you're following it. And it's like, you have to concentrate. Otherwise, you're not going to understand the concept of all of that. And I like that we still go back to that scene later in the closing arguments of the film and everything, where everything is everything and everyone all at once, just collapsing and everything. And you still get those moments where it's like the little teen rock is trying to get away, and then the mom rock is following, and you keep going through all this, and it's like, yeah, no, this is definitely got to be one of the most creative, and probably it's a favorite moment for me right there. Um,
Yeah.
I like that.
I also, oh, continue,
No,
please.
no, no, you continue.
I also, one of my special interests is philosophy, okay? And so I try to find philosophy in everything. Philosophy is essentially everything, just why, you know what I mean? And so I really just took that as, they hop, they're hopping like each throughout like their pinatas and their ninjas and their singers and their acts, and so it just, to me, it made me feel like, just zooming out, just like taking ourselves out of the picture, we really are just like rocks on this, like what makes us different from the rocks outside of our critical thinking skills, and obviously they're, don't get too literal on me, y'all, but but we really are just like, we're the bears, we're the trees, we're really just like another
Everything.
form, we're just another form of existence on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So in some sort of universe, we really, like, maybe we are rocks, or maybe, and who's to say, after we die, we go into the ground, a lot of us, or get burnt up and thrown off of a mountain in a coffee can. Shout out to the bucket list. That's the way I want to go out. But I really think it really stops to make you think, like, wow. And the conversation that they had, I like that you say that it's like, it's really like teenagerish, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, when you like listen to what she's like, listen, if you read what she's saying, right, because the text is on the screen, um I really think that it's like pretty profound. And it's like, yeah, it's simple, but it is profound, because she's just like, yeah, so we just like, the next thing that we learn is just going to make us feel even more like stupid humans, like or stupid animals, or stupid things. See, we continue to like grow and learn. The more we know, like the more we learn, the less we know. And I
Yeah.
think that I feel that, like, that a lot. Like, the more I study, the more I learn about the world or whatever it is, the painfully aware I am of like, oh, I don't know anything. Like, I really don't know anything. And I think that's a really humbling experience, but also freeing too, right?
It's also
Because then it's
frightening
like,
because the
it
more
is
you look at
frightening.
it is the more it seems like I invest in this one thing, the more I still it feels like you never have the right balance of answers and questions. You'll always have more questions, which is why they always sit there and say you always continue to learn because you'll never know it all,
Right.
regardless. You know.
To me, that's, that's interesting that you think it's frightening. I wonder, I want to know why you think that way. To me, it's like, it's almost, it's intimidating, but at the same time, to me, it makes me like it provides me with some relief because it's just no one has it figured out.
Yeah, but see
I don't
that
care how
that's the
much you
thing.
know, no one has it figured out.
Maybe afraid
Right.
isn't the right way, but maybe it actually is. But it is intimidating, and that the more it's like, well, what's the whole point then if I invest so much into this? Like I've had numerous times as a filmmaker, is like I've invested so much time learning the craft of everything from writing to directing, but it still doesn't feel like I know a goddamn thing. And
Yeah.
even from the times I put the actions into this, it's like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I've learned that from a lot from all of my favorite authors and everything from Peter Straub to Stephen King, Joyce Carol Oates, fucking Ray Bradbury. For them, they just sit down and they write and they just discover as they go. And I used to constantly always think that they know what the fuck they doing. No, they fucking don't. Stephen King had a whole period where he was on cocaine and alcohol. Doesn't even remember writing Cujo. But you know what? That's still a good
I
fucking.
was born in the wrong time, man.
But that
I
was.
wish I could be partying with Stephen King.
But the fact is that it was regardless. I think even without the drugs or anything, is that sometimes when you write something or you just create, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And I think I've always been more kind of cautious just because of where I'm at in life, and I still feel very lost. Of, well, I want to invest in something that is actually going to be very much worthy of my time, and I do feel like part of it is to invest a profit because it's like I'm in my 30s. I think I should be starting to save money, be a little bit smarter with money, you know. And I still look at it now and I'm like, I still feel like I'm on fucking square one. I feel like all these years that I've done all this, I just can't fucking sit there and seem to get forward. And there's almost like a little bit of envy when I see other people that are like, oh, well, they got these films out, you know. And it's like, wow, they've been working the same time I did. They already got more films. What the fuck are they doing? And half the damn time, they're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And it's like, how can you be that confident in yourself to just, like, have it where I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, dude, but I'm just doing it. And I'm just like, that's, to me, that's the hill I need to get over. And I guess even looking at this film and having that, it's still frightening. It's intimidating, but you gotta fucking do it. You gotta jump. And to me, I'm all like, I want to know what the fuck's down there first.
Yeah.
It's like, trauma? Which one? There's, because I got many. Which one? I don't know if I'm prepared to conquer that. You know, it's like, I think I see my dad down there. I'm not fucking ready to go down there, man. Fuck him. No, get the fuck out of here.
True.
But you know, I think that is with almost everyone though, and everything. And I think the ones that do succeed are the ones that are like, fuck it, I'm gonna go meet that trauma today. I'm gonna go meet that, and I think they're just all like, could be bad, could be good. You know.
And I think that Rye makes a really great point, you know. That's how I like to think of it is because if, okay, let's say that there is an end in sight. Like there is just like there's just one subject that you're passionate in that you can just learn every single thing. You can just retain every single ounce of knowledge in it, right? Then like, okay, so like you get to that point, then what?
Sproggy Scepter said it perfectly best. Sounds like you're an overthinker. I am. If I got paid to overthink, I'd be a fucking millionaire and supporting all of you guys. I fucking would be. People be like, Gothic, quit fucking dropping money on me. It's like, I'm an overthinker. I just fucking made $1 million just fucking thinking about it. It's
same.
It's like, that's what it is. It is a blessing and it's a fucking curse. It fucking sucks. Don't ever say, I wish I overthink things. It's like, no, stay ignorant, stay stupid. You'll be so much more fucking happier.
No, don't stay stupid. books, friends. Read books.
Ignorant to an extent. Don't be ignorant to the point where you're fucking offending everyone. Don't be that. But be ignorant, like, in the way of which, like, I guess like me, where you freaking wake up and it's like, do I have cereal? Do I have eggs? Well, I don't really sit there feel like eating anything cold, but I also don't feel like cooking. Do I have a Nutri-Grain bar in the fucking damn pantry? And then you just start thinking and thinking. By the time, it's like, I'm not even fucking hungry anymore. Overthinking filled my belly along with the coffee. So let's go start our day. And then that's pretty much it. With the coffee can that you go into be Folgers, Layla. Oh, that's
of course just for you, right? Just for you. You can decorate it too if you're the one kicking me off the mountain.
It's got Captain America stickers and Thor stickers. And
No. So who did you think? Okay, one more point before I ask you, because I really want to know your answer. Mm-hmm. One of the things I really loved about Evelyn is the reason why she was the chosen one was because she's bad at everything. She had all these hobbies that she never really committed to. And that's I feel that. Attacked. Like I always I was like, damn, like why you gonna be so loud about it? Because I'm the type of person, I just feel like in the least egotistical way possible, I really do feel like if I do something, like I'm generally pretty good at it. And so that just is like, so like if I am generally okay or pretty good at like anything I try to do, like what do I do?
Yeah.
Right. And no, that's where I study. And so like the fact that she like has like all of these like hobbies, right, that are really just like dreams of hers, that she's like such a multifaceted human being that it just wasn't like she couldn't commit to like one dream because she's just a dreamer. I really like resonate with that as well. But then that's when you go into like, okay, so like what is your joy, right? But that's a whole nother conversation for another time.
It's her
but
daughter.
Yeah. And so who do you think that you related to
I relate
most?
to Evelyn. Mostly because you've already mentioned it about the, having all these hobby things. And it's like, you know what? Like, I really wanted to get into, whenever it came to leaving high school, I really wanted to sit there and get into music. But I didn't know what to do, so I left it. But I knew I could write. So I wrote comic book stuff that never got, written, or it got written, but it was never drawn and published. And so I kept doing that for years and years, and then came the film. And I worked on fucking film for the majority of my 20s, just doing all of that. And then after I graduated, it's like I stopped because I'm not in that environment to make films anymore.
Right.
And everything. But I kept the writing process up and everything. But it still feels like, even now, like this year, I think really only at max, I think I've only written about 20 fucking pages of something of actually reading. If you're comfortable, I love for you to share that with me someday. I don't know which one did I sit there and I said. I say a lot of shit, Krypton, so you have to be more specific. I have the brain. I have the brain of a fucking rock. I have the brain of a fucking rock. It's pretty damn dense and everything.
Oh yeah, comic stuff.
But,
duh.
The comic. A lot of it's like a rip-off of freaking Punisher and everything. There is one that I did write it as a teleplay, and I gave my screenwriting professor a nightmare and everything. But it's like, it does like ask me, because like when it comes to writing, I never dedicate myself to one specific craft after a while. It's like, oh, there's always a new story, chase that. And to the point where I do look at myself as like, that's the issue. I have not dedicated myself to one specific thing, not one script, not one short story, not one book, none of it. And I've been trying to do my best here doing it. And last night was a huge kick in the ass where I felt it. August was just a fucking terrible month. And reading the Dark Tower TV pilot, it kicked something in my fucking brain. And I just started working on some writing stuff. And I was like, I think I now know what the fuck I need to do. It's like, I need to tell the fucking story of what I need to tell, maybe in different contexts and different periods in which the story actually overlays. Maybe that's just how my brain will get it before I can go rewrite it and give it maybe that linearness that I feel like, for one, I know most people can fucking understand. But yeah, I constantly feel like I dropped so many writing projects And a lot of people are like, oh, that's so good, I can't wait to hear it. A couple of months later, hey, how's that project going? Let's not talk about that. As I'm working on project 1564, and it's like 67 is going to come out next week. And it's like, you're not even done with 64, with 64, whatever the previous fucking number I said. Again, I don't have a brain. But still, it's that number of like, yeah, I'm not going to fucking finish this, but I'm going to fucking write it and try to get as much out of me. So that may be like in a month or so, I can come back and be like, oh God, this is hot garbage, but I know where the hell I'm going to go with it. You know, because you can't edit a blank page. Oh, everything in my life. Yeah, I think a lot of us feel that, and I always struggle with trying to communicate that. Like, I always want people to be openly communicated with me. This year, I found out I am the absolute worst to communicate with. When it really comes to it, like,
you know what? No, I don't know.
I bottle that shit up. I bottle that shit up, and people can either guess by whatever the fuck I'm posting on social media. They're like, oh, he's having that fucking day. And that day sometimes turns into a week or a month. And they're like, oh, okay, we can understand. Gothic's in a philosophical mood today. Oh, he's fucking depressed today. Yeah, it's showing. I could tell by how many French New Wave films he's sharing that are about heartbreak or just about life in general and what have I done with my life. And usually the 20s are, you're not supposed to know what the hell you do. You have an idea, you have a vagueness. But the 30s is, I think, when you really do find yourself. And I think I've found a little bit of myself, but at the same time, it's still like it's like a ghost. It's there. You can sometimes see it from the corner of your eye, but it's not physically manifested yet. And so I do try to manifest myself as this filmmaker, podcaster. I've been doing this for years. And again, I get nervous with every fucking interview. We've went through that rant already on this episode. We've gone through all that. And I'm like, shit, can I just breathe? And yeah, that's it with everything. Professional overthinker
Everything,
here.
everywhere, all at once.
Yeah, professional overthinker here. I need to add that to my Twitch saying. Filmmaker, podcaster, professional overthinker. Oh my God. Now that left some awkward dead air.
It's okay to be quiet every once in a while, friends. The silence isn't gonna hurt you.
It actually does.
Does it? I mean, I don't mind it, but I guess I'm not a professional.
I grew up in an environment that was constantly noise. You heard something, you always hear something. So that's why I always have headphones on. I'm always listening to something. I'm always going. I've tried working on the silent thing and the meditation, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like what the brain's. And it's like, let go of it.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. I'm gonna tell you, you're talking to the wrong person to say that you should not be quiet every once in a while. Even though I'm a yapper, okay?
Oh my God.
I'll sit for hours and not say a word, then word won't come out of my mouth.
Oh my God. Where are all those chickens when you need to look them up?
Look at them. Look at all those chickens. So what did you think of it since it was your first time seeing it, Goth?
It's a wonderful piece of film, and I can definitely understand why it gathered the Oscars that it did. And I definitely feel like a lot of people that bitched about it didn't deserve all those Oscars. It's like, you never watched it. You never watched it. Because if you watch it, the writing, the directing, I didn't want to sit there and say cinematography, but yeah, even the cinematography, the choreography, the editing,
the dildos.
Sound. We love ourselves some dildos here. No, that will not be for for merch ideas whatsoever, people. But still, as much work as went into, and I could tell there's a lot of work. And that, yes, this is going to be a film that if I definitely go back, I'm going to pick up so much stuff. Which I love films like this. There's only very few films that I have watched personally where I can go back and rewatch it and I learn something brand new about the making of this. And I didn't have to watch a documentary on it. I just watched the film. I was like, that's cool. How the fuck did they do that? And then your brain starts thinking. And it's like, when a film gets you thinking, folks, that's cinema. Like, I know that...
they do... the thing is it's... I just think that they did... Like you said, like, everything so beautifully, from just even the themes and the concepts. Like, the whole like nothing matters, so like everything matters, right? Like nothing matters, so everything matters, which is like a meme now, but it really is like it holds true, and just the different meanings that like that can have depending on the person. Because when you look at the daughter, right, she's just like nothing fucking matters. I hate this, right? And then once they go through the whole process of, I don't even know what you want to call it,
Yeah.
but
It's a beautiful
defeating.
process of just what they go through. Like the daughter
Yeah,
being the enemy, but she's not really the enemy.
yeah. And she's hurt. She was created by Evelyn, right? And other
Mm-hmm.
universes. She was like, that was like the generational curse, is that I'm telling you, right? Like it was just so powerful to know that, like, when you look at it like that, like how deep it runs, right?
Yeah.
Like how you can't just like wake up and just like decide to make a different choice. I mean, you can, but like when it's so ingrained in your being, like
Yeah.
when it's so deeply rooted in your subconscious or your consciousness, like it is like it does take like a whole ego death, in order to kind of like come out on the other side of that and be like, yeah, like nothing matters, but you know what? That means that like everything matters then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think was like really beautiful. And even at the end where there was like, you think I want to, like, mom was like, you think I want to be here with you right now? Like, no, but I love you and I will always be here for you and we're gonna figure it out. And I was just like, damn, dude, like that's so powerful right there. Like, so the honesty that they give each other at the end, and like they're just, I really feel like they just really are able to see each other fully, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, gosh,
But
guys, go see it if you
but
haven't.
at the
Like, check it
end,
out.
it's not like an animosity too when it comes to the honesty. It's more of the like I'm laying it all out there for
Right.
it and everything. And the thing that I really treasure is at the beginning you only sit there and see Evelyn with her husband and her father, and then the film ends with like that one missing member, which even Deidre, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is like, "Where's your daughter?" Like this whole communicating thing, like the translator, it's much easier. That's already been planted right there. That for one, Evelyn has barely any communication. There's barely any communication within the family, which is why
Yeah.
her husband is showing up with the divorce papers. Which I'm all like, dude, if the fucking kid from Temple of Doom and the Goonies is fucking giving you divorce papers, you definitely know you fucked up.
Yeah, but
You
I
fucked
love
up.
Waymond. I
Yeah.
love him so much.
And it's that beginning image of how you sit there and how you see them, and then it's that image of it's like by breaking generational curses. And it's not like necessarily one of those films that shows that in order to break it you have to break your grandparents and you have to like disown them or kick them out or whatever. It's like, no, it's like I think he understood finally what he did, and
Yeah.
in order to have his family he had to change in himself. And you go from these tired husks that like you wouldn't even call them human beings, they're just husks at this point. And then by
Hmm.
the end of it they just have so much life that even after what they go through and before you get to that final image, you could just tell these people breathe so much life within one another. And then you
Hmm.
get that one word for girlfriend in Cantonese. I think it was Cantonese or Mandarin, because it was weird
Yeah.
because the
I think it is Cantonese
yeah, because I think for some reason I don't know if it was the captions
subtitles.
you gave. I think at one point it said Mandarin. I was like, which the fuck is it? Is it Mandarin or Cantonese?
I think it's Cantonese, but I don't know.
Or is it mixed? I have
I
no.
can barely speak. I can barely speak English,
Well,
Gothic.
well,
Don't ask me
well.
about another language.
I was also wondering too if maybe the reason why Dad was upset at Evelyn for picking layman was maybe he was Mandarin or he speaks Mandarin, so maybe he's like a different form of Chinese compared to their family.
Interesting.
Which so that's what I'm wondering, just because
Yeah.
from watching it and then kind of getting up and grabbing lunch and doing a few things while watching, it's like, did I miss something? Was there something of a conversation did I miss? And so my brain's just trying to figure it out as I go.
Right.
But still, it's the fact that there was no communication at the beginning, and now the fucking communication line's there, and everyone is happy and healthy. You know, you even see
And they're
it on
not perfect. They're
no,
not perfect,
yeah,
but they see each other and they like the acceptance, the just the full acceptance of each other exactly the way they are, and it just is plays out so beautifully in that last scene
Mm-hmm.
where they're all going to to the tax lady again, Deirdre, and you know Evelyn looks at the girlfriend, right, daughter's girlfriend, and is like, oh, like you need to like grow your hair out, you know. And then earlier in the movie, you know, she tells her, she was like, list like, oh, like she tells you you're fat because she cares, right? And so that's like, I accept you for who you are, you know what I mean? So accept me for who I am, and then we can learn how to like coexist with each other. And
Yeah.
I just think that that's so important, and it's something that I really try to do, like just really meet people where they're at. And so I just it's just so well done. I don't know.
It is, and it's like a wonderful thing too because in a sense it definitely dispels on the Becky your family.
Yeah.
Like welcome to the family. Even though you didn't have that much of a big part in this movie, but you were essentially integral for the daughter and
Right.
everything. But without you always having to be there, but still, it was the fact of your family. You're one of us
Yeah.
now. You know, there's no backing down now. You know, it's like you're one of us, and it's fucking wholesome. It's wonderful. Like that was a great film, and thank you so much again for showing that one to me. Like
Thank you
I,
so much
I,
for I honestly thought that no one was gonna hop in with me. And then when like you like hopped in, like there were so many people who hopped in. It was like such a great time. I love sharing my favorite things with people. So
yeah,
thank you for showing up. What the
yeah.
heck?
Well, like that's always something right there where to me, because film to me is a very personal side. And so if I'm definitely able to sit there and go share films that really matter to me, like the ones that really do a deep cut, I appreciate that. And so when I ended up showing the first viewing of Paris, Texas, I think Midnight and Jessica Jones were the only ones that popped in. And to me, I looked at it as these people are here with me at one of my most vulnerable times because that film hit me hard. It was my first time watching it, and the moment that I thought it was this, but then I quickly realized it was about a father-son relationship and getting a family unit back together, just to know that the father did not earn the right to be a part of the family, but what he was going to sit there and do was bring the son and the mother together because they deserve each other and
Mhm.
everything, and that was going to be
What
his
was it? What was it called again?
Paris, Texas. You can watch
Paris,
it now on
Texas.
HBO Max. Um,
Nice. I'm gonna write that down real quick.
I would say get the Criterion Collection so you get the special exclusivity documentaries because I fucking love those and everything. I need to get me into the Criterion Collection because there's like Vampire, there's Nosferatu. I think that's on there. I know that they're expensive, but folks, fucking invest in your freaking physical media because it's almost trying to go away. There's people holding on to this and everything. It's the same thing. I don't want to get too much into theater and going to the theaters. I know it's fucking expensive, but goddamn, when you see a movie in theaters, it's a different experience.
Yeah, which it would be a great segue into our third movie, which is Coraline, because it came out in theaters not too long ago for its 15-year anniversary remastered and in 3D. Go
So,
see it if it's still in your theaters. Go
so
see it.
I sadly did not get a chance to go sit there and see it in theaters, mostly just
That's
because
okay.
I know I didn't get the ride, but I did buy it, and I did enjoy this. So, Coraline, who is directed and screenwritten by both Neil Gaiman, well, Neil didn't direct it, but Henry Selick, and I knew that
Hmm.
name sounded so familiar, so I had to go fucking look up that name. This is the man that did the directing, the animation directing for A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep.
And I left a very interesting. I think it actually got a liked on Letterbox. I I left an interesting tidbit of information. Why is this your number one favorite? While I look up that review real quick for it, why
You
is it?
know, I have like I saw it when I first came out, and it's just one that I've always really just resonated with. It's kind of a comfort movie, which is like funny. It's like I guess I'm not the only weirdo in the world who like really thinks that Coraline is their comfort movie because there's memes about it all the time now, and I'm like, wow, I'm not the only one. Where are you? I need my people, right? But I just really loved the whole aspect of how brave Coraline was in the midst of like adversity. And it's just so like life is so scary as a child, right? Like things can be, well, it doesn't, not always, but like things are so
Yeah.
like so much scarier as children, right? Like even like a noise in the night, it's just like could be a huge crazy monster in a child's head when in all reality it's just like a leaky faucet or,
Everything is
a pipe.
grander.
Yeah.
It's like almost being like on stage and you feel like everyone's watching you, and you look at them and it's like you just see a whole sea of eyes, and it's to us it's like, okay, there's people watching us, but to a child, that's the entire universe
Yeah.
looking down on them.
And so as a child, like the things the obstacles that she faces is just like obviously outrageous, but she just does it for her family. I also really really resonated with the fact that she really didn't feel seen or heard growing up. And that's why she's vulnerable, right? So she's pulled into to this point where she has to give up her eyes and like essentially her soul, right? They're like, I love claymation movies, stop animation, and so that like that whole aspect, the whole color, it is like I don't think Tim Burton had anything to do with Coraline.
Mm-mm.
Specifically, but it does give me Tim Burton vibes a lot as well. And also the book, okay? The book, y'all. The book is so much scarier. It is like an absolutely horror, like a crazy horror, like a children's horror story, guys. Go get it. Oh no, I'm breaking everything. Oh no. Look at it. Oh no, look, this right here. Go get it. Neil Gaiman, Coraline. Rye got it for me. Okay, and it's just so well done. In the book, if you don't mind me spoiling it for you, YB, which is her sidekick,
Yeah.
right? Her little friend sidekick, YB, and the actual Coraline doll that she has in the movie, they don't exist. She goes in, it's just her and the cat who go in and like fight the other mother, and I just think that that's so brave.
Huh.
um I'm also a weirdo who uses the Coraline audiobook to fall asleep. And so everything about it. There's just not one thing I just don't love about it.
There's nothing weird about that. Last night I actually went to bed to listening to The Haunting of Hill House.
Really?
The Shirley Jackson one. I'm like over here. I'm like, okay, it's time to
I
sleep.
gotta pick these. Oh, I gotta pick these pieces up that before Kratos gets them. Okay, so I'm listening.
That's fine. But yeah, like listening to the opening line, which is like, nothing in Hell House or something is living and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, this is so not going to give me fucking weird dreams. Because, it's like, it's a very eerie opening line that really there's nothing alive or nothing that actually lives in Hell House or Hill House and everything. And it's like, yeah, it's like, there's times I'll listen to ASMR storybook stuff that puts me to sleep, like Irish myths and everything and
I
folklore.
mean, okay, to be fair, it is the narrator of the Coraline that I listen to, he does have a British accent and he does read it over rain sound, so it's really really peaceful.
Yeah, that's the way
That
to.
helps.
But I do have here. I finally have my review. I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, what's your review? Tell me everything.
I gave you 4 stars for it for Coraline
Okay.
on Letterboxd, and it's very very short. But I wrote director screenwriter Henry Selick replaces the spectacle in his stop motion animation work with an intimate story that has you return for more of Neil Gaiman's world. A wonderful watch. Thank you for the recommendation, Layla, and everything. And so that's the thing that I've like noticed with this. It's when you look at A Nightmare Before Christmas, which is obviously I think what was his biggest piece of work as of yet until Coraline came out. Even though that could still be a mixed bag, because I don't think Coraline was completely greeted with fanfare when it released. I think it was a sleeper hit. But it feels like with A Nightmare Before Christmas, it was so spectacle. But that was because you're splashing Halloween with Christmas, two of the strongest holidays of the year, something we all look forward to. Even if you don't really sit there and celebrate Christmas or Halloween, it's that energy and spirit that comes along with it that you may not be a believer, but you're in for the fun, you know. or you
And
just get
also, even if you are like, you either like, and it appeals to people who like really love Christmas. You know, there's like this weird,
yeah,
like, I feel like this weird little battle who people like, oh, like Halloween's the best, you know, the
yeah,
best, the holiday, but no, Christmas. And so like they like marry each other, right? So I really
yeah.
like that too about
and
Nightmare.
and so when you sit there and you see the characters that are in A Nightmare Before Christmas, they're very outspoken. It's almost like it's a stage play in a sense. Like it's not just the music that they're just loud, but even in their voices and everything, and they're very Shakespearean in their acting. But when you see Coraline, it's not that whatsoever. Henry had taken that away and replace it with an intimate story about, you know, essentially the fears in childhood, but also too like the fear of conformity. I love this so much. This is a wonderful world. It's my parents aren't, you know, overbearing or boring. They're fun. It's like, but in order to stay in here, I have to conform to their rules and
I've
everything.
got a literally so buttons to my eyes. How terrifying is that? Like growing up, I have this I used to have this weird fear about like eyes. Do you remember the Gorillas,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
band?
where their
And
like
you know
eyes are
they're
all hollowed out and everything,
yeah,
and
like their little caricatures that used to like they played on the MTV Movie Awards one time. They had like holograms of them and that gave me nightmare for fucking weeks.
I love the
Okay?
gorillas.
I love the gorillas too, but that was like I there was just something so eerie and creepy about that. But and just the way it was like kind of the same idea, right? Like the you know the eyes are the window to the soul,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so covering those or taking those, removing those is like essentially taking your soul. And so
Yeah.
that was just like so. But they do like oh cute little buttons, like the little Lala Loopsy dolls, right?
Yeah, it's almost like a cutesy childhood thing, but there's like an underlayer of sinister evil that comes with that, and it's kind of like it's like inviting, but when you also kind of take another glance at it, it's like this isn't an invitation to a dance. This is an invitation with the dance with the devil,
Yeah.
almost, and yeah, like when I saw this, I had to like view maybe the beginning of it again because I was doing stuff and I was like, I gotta watch this again. So started it all over again and I'm watching it and I was like, this is a Grimm's fairy tale. Sorry, the accent came out. It's a Grimm's fairy tale. It's pretty much what it is. And you can even sit there and see it with like the other children that are their souls are trapped in
Yeah.
this world and everything. And I like look at this and it's all like it's a cautionary tale about conformity. You know, there's more to it, but on the blanket, it's all about conformity. It's like just
Mhm.
because you may like it does not mean it's the best for you, and you need to watch out. In order to have this, what are you sacrificing exactly? You know,
I
for
really think you should read the book, Gothic. I really
oh,
think you should read the
I
book.
do because Knox told me and everything. It's like look what Layla got me, and it's like I think got you like the audiobook and or the not the ebook. It was like an ebook version of it, and it's like all right, I gotta
No,
add.
I sent her the physical copy
Was it? I kept thinking
because
I was looking at an
I
ebook.
all about the physical copy of books.
I love, yeah, you know, reading a script through my phone or PC is like okay, but when I read a really good book, I really want to hold that book and everything.
Yeah.
And I truly believe, because one of my favorite book series is The Dark Tower, I truly believe I would not have enjoyed that book unless I
On an
physically held the
yeah.
words and I felt the weight of the words in my hand and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the less said about Dark Tower, the better, because we only have so much time, and I don't want to fucking sit there and ramble on too damn long and everything. I read the screenplay to the teleplay of it last night. Could not fucking sleep. It was everything I wanted, and I found out that they did film it, and you can go look at stills of it on IMDb. But
Oh, cool.
Amazon chose not to go forward with it because they were like, "Let's go with Rings of Power." I was like, "You dumb sons of bitches." You know,
Write a strongly worded letter, Gothic.
there's
I'll
me
edit it.
there's me again burning another bridge to another possible studio. But when I looked at that, I was like, look, I understand maybe Tolkien is probably a name that can make better money, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. Capitalism. It's making money. It's a business. But King can fucking stand on his own, when even when it's not horror. You got Shawshank Redemption. You got Misery. You got Stand By Me. These were amazing character stories. The Green Mile, another amazing character story. So you cannot tell me Stephen King is not marketable outside of the horror genre, especially
Right.
when this series is both not just a Western, but a horror, sci-fi, mix. It's a blend of everything. And you got your romance, because the pilot dealt with like kind of the beginning of book 4, but it had a very interesting twist with the intro of book 1, and you're like, this is so well put. On Writing by Stephen King is a must read for writers and fans of his. Oh yeah, because even if you're not a writer, the whole first half of it is like almost like a memoir of his childhood. And if you always wondered, well, I wonder where the hell he got that idea for Carrie. Quite literally, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's terrifying to learn what he grew up with and maybe some of the women that he had written about. And it's heartbreaking. But you sit there and you see just how much life imitates art and art imitates life.
Right.
But yeah, you know what? Like, we hit the scope here. We're about running up about what, like almost an hour and a half here. So I could definitely sit there and say for the films that you picked, for one, family is a very big important thing to you. Family and relationships. It's a very, very important component. I've always sat there and noticed this with a lot of people, but have yet to really bring it up at the end of the episode and everything. Are there any other films that are about relationships or about family that you would like to sit there and recommend for the listeners here?
That's a great question. Relationships. 500 Days of Summer is a really popular movie and a really, really good one. I think that one's really great. It's devastating, but also really inspiring all at once. Family. Oh my gosh. I wish you would have, I wish I would have known this before so I could prepare. I'm put on the spot.
Well, this was on the
Um,
spot, so
Relationships or family. Um, I might have to get back to you. That's such a great question, though. What?
I'll throw another one on the fire for relationships. Possession.
I don't know if I've
I,
seen that one.
I think it's pronounced Andrzej Zulecki. He is a Polish filmmaker, if I remember correctly. The film Possession. It stars um, Sam Neill, which most of you guys know him as the head paleontologist guy in Jurassic Park. He was the one that didn't like kids, and then at the end of the film, he was like, yeah, these kids aren't all that bad. After getting chased by numerous raptors and a T-Rex. Yeah, that one, Isabella Adjani, one of the most beautiful women in cinema and everything. Essentially, she wants a divorce from her husband after he comes back from a job because he works as a spy.
Okay.
And the entirety of the film is watching the separation of these two. She wants a divorce, he doesn't. He wants a woman that is submissive and is willing to be a wife and everything. And she wants she wanted her husband to be like the young version of himself, which was the spontaneous person that could give great sex. But it was the fact that like he wasn't ready to settle down. He was ready for adventures, excitement. And the longer that these two are in a room together, just the more volatile they get. But the moment that they're away from each other, things kind of settle down, but there's an eeriness in the body horror of it all. That film was written while Zaleski was dealing with a really nasty divorce from his first or second wife. It's fucking wonderful. And after watching that movie, I fucking broke down in tears. Like, that was a film, because to me, relationships are important as much as family, that going through this entire roller coaster of a film, I didn't cry one bit until the very end when the way it ended. And I'm just like, oh my God, I have seen the power of what the camera can do. And yeah, go watch
I
Possession.
have to check it out. You said it's called Possession, you said?
Possession. It came out in
Okay.
1981
Ooh,
and
okay.
everything. And oh my God, it fucking rips your heart out, you know. Which, if you want another film that has your heart ripped out, Bride or Reanimator. That actually has one of the most beautiful scenes of
What is it? Bride or what? You're just
Bride
giving me all this stuff. Where's my pin?
Bride of Reanimator.
Bride of
I would
Reanimator.
say watch Reanimator first, because that one's
Okay.
like a comedy satire, and then the second one definitely hits it a lot with satire and comedy. but yeah, there was like a scene towards the end where the bride, who she has been rejected by her lover, because he's like, this isn't you. I don't love you. I love her. And the bride is so just heart wrenched and taken back that you don't love me. And so she tries to quite literally give her heart to him. And he rejects it. And so she goes and she just squeezes her
Sounds
heart.
about right.
She squeezes her heart, and you have all this blood shooting everywhere and everything. And she dies. And like that's it, it was like it's like the physical manifestation of giving all your love, just be rejected, and
Just rip my fucking heart out for you, baby.
yeah, it's one of the best interpretations of that scene, and I love it. I felt bad for the monster, but at the same time, it's like wow, and of course, you know, we talked about dildos and everything a little bit for Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's a body in there that somehow got a boobie sewn to its fucking shoulder. So as he's crawling through, all you see is just his tit shake. And it's fucking hilarious because you're like, is that a tit? And I was like, I wonder what the fuck else they got sewn to these bodies. Because I think the undead were like sewing just random shit to each other to like
boob. Nice
shoulder boob. Yeah, awesome. It's nice, tasteful shoulder boob. You know. But with that being said, Layla.
Oh wait, one more. Garden State. That's like a coming of age movie. Have you ever seen that one?
I've never even heard of it. Garden State?
Garden State, yeah. Go check it out. It's essentially this guy who has to go back to his hometown to attend his mother's funeral, I believe. And then he meets who's the actress in that? She's pretty popular. Oh no. What's her name?
Pretty popular in what decade?
Early 2000s.
That could have been Kate Winslet. That could have been
Garden State. Let me see. Garden State. It apparently has actually has a really good.
Is it Natalie Portman?
Yeah, Natalie Portman. Duh. It's so good. But just go check it out. They're just a bunch of like just fucked up people. Like obviously.
Okay, I'll definitely sit there and check.
Yeah, it's like fucked up people. He's just like been told that he's crazy his whole life because his dad's a psychiatrist and has him on all these meds, and he decides to go off of them, and he just like learns all this stuff with Natalie Portman. And she's a little off the rocker too, but they just somehow work. It's really beautiful.
Kind of also reminds me a little bit of Over the Edge. That's a Cillian Murphy film and everything, where he's like super self-destructive and he almost drives his daddy's car off a cliff, and so they put him like in a kind of like a mental institution, and he finds love and he finds a whole new thing of life and everything. And there's love, there's heartbreak, there's like a whole lot, you know. So that's what that reminds me. So now I definitely gotta check that out to see if that's like anywhere related to maybe that film, of maybe the filmmakers were inspired by that. Where can the fine folks find you on the socials?
Layizzzle on Twitch, layizzzle.jpg on Instagram, Twitter, X, my fucking garbage can of a social media account is just Layizzzle with three Z's. And on the TikTok the same, but I don't post. So you get a TikTok? No, I try not to get on TikTok because it just sucks all my time. So maybe one day.
I feel that because I'll go through and I'll like everyone's shit, and I'm like, all right, that's the last one, and then it slides up, and it's like it's almost like the app hears you, and it's like we're not done with you yet. We're not done yet. For those of you that are here and everything, you guys get to sit there and learn who is the next guest. For next month, we're gonna have Mift here. We're gonna have Mifty.
Mifty boo!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Layla, by the time that this comes out, she's technically gonna be the October episode and everything. So we got to talk a little bit romance. We got to talk about some zaniness, and then we got to end it a little bit with some spooky and everything. Yeah. So we're gonna have next month. We're gonna have Mift and everything, and then that'll be November's episode once it drops on YouTube. Thank you so much, Layla, again for being here.
Thank you.
I fucking love this.
Me too. I had so much fun. Oh my gosh! Thanks for talking to me about my favorite movies. What the heck?
Of course, folks, go follow the wonderful Layla and everything.
You'll probably see me in everyone's chat somewhere if you can't find me otherwise.
I'm pretty sure and everything. And also too, folks, thank you guys again so much for the follows. Thank you so much for the support here. for both me and Layla and everything. This has been an awesome fucking conversation, and I fucking truly do appreciate it. And we are gonna go find someone to raid. Sydney says that she loves you.